Hello and thank you for watching. This video is brought to you by thestreamingadvisor.com. Tailor your entertainment with streaming. What we're going to look at in this video is another look at Discovery Plus. We did a review of Discovery Plus when it launched originally, but the program in general has grown in scope, and we want to take a look at what you're going to find now if you sign up for it today. First off, you'll notice that Discovery Plus has profiles so that you can have your mix and match of whatever it is that you want to do. Adding a profile is pretty easy. You just click on Add Profile and you give it a name and select the picture that goes along with it. So, in this case, I'm just going to call it T. We already have one called New Profile that we're going to use for this video. There you go, okay? And then you can go in and choose one of a couple of different looks. There's not thousands of different icons or anything like what you find with some of the bigger services, but there's enough that you can differentiate who's who. I give my wife the crime scene photos thing because she loves those true crime stories. So let's back out of this and jump in and take a look at what you're going to see when you have Discovery Plus. So we'll jump into that new profile. When you get into the service, you'll see that it has a pretty familiar feel. Nobody is reinventing the wheel on streaming services these days, but familiarity is helpful. And you'll see that the programming here is broken down into rows of types of content. Your trending shows here are going to be the things that are really hot right now. It has a section just for new episodes that are from across those many channels that are built into the service as far as what's coming out on TV. So that's actually really cool because you get a feel for what's on TV even without having cable or even one of the big cable replacement services. Down towards the bottom, Discovery has a section called Discovery Plus Channels, and this has grown a lot since the service first started. It didn't actually exist when it launched, so it started growing bit by bit to a point where it has about 15 or 16 different popular shows playing 24 hours a day. This is really cool for people who want to just binge a favorite, and it's also nice for people who just love to have something on in the background that they can look up from while they're working or reading or whatever they're doing at home. And they're nice. They're like what you find on something like Pluto TV or something. It's just a channel dedicated to a show. So you want to get on your ghost adventures? Jump on in. Discovery Plus Collections is kind of a themed thing. This is newish. I don't remember seeing Discovery Plus Collections in the first place, but it's now something that they're working in. The homepage changes from time to time, whether it's seasonal or event related. But right now, they're breaking things down so that you can jump into specific shows and look at favorite episodes or even themes along the lines of things to do around the house with numerous things. Watch as a family is just nothing special. Really, most programming on Discovery Plus I would consider family friendly. Yeah, they have some of those seedy reality shows, so it's going to start pushing the bounds a bit, but nothing that wouldn't play on primetime television is going to show up on Discovery Plus. We'll just put it that way. There's a lot of familiar faces for those of you who enjoy home shows, cooking shows, reality shows in general, competition shows, and it kind of crosses the entire gamut from a point where you could almost love half the content on Discovery Plus and hate the rest. It's kind of strange these days, but it's a big world. Up top, you see that they break things down according to the kinds of subgenres within reality TV because, as you know, reality TV isn't really one thing. Reality TV isn't just cooking shows. Reality TV isn't just dating shows. So Discovery Plus understands that and gives you a feel so that When you click on something like relationships here, you're going to see shows from all across the gamut that deal with relationships with each other. Your home shows are things like the home improvement shows or the house flipping shows. Everything from buying and selling to fixing to reimagining is all under one category. It goes like that all the way across in order to highlight programming from everything from the History Channel to OWN to HGTV to the Food Network. And recently they've even signed on to bring in some shows from NBC Universal. So that's a great category just to kind of get you a feel for it. But it's not the only way to explore the content within Discovery Plus. We're going to go home and just kind of take a look at the vast amount of channels that have content on Discovery. You can depend on one thing for sure. If it's a Discovery-owned service, you're going to have more stuff to see. If it is not a Discovery Plus owned service, if Discovery Networks doesn't own the channel, you're more likely to see vast selections of content. Something like Ancient Aliens on the History Channel. That's one of my little guilty pleasures. You only have seasons 1 through 8. And if you're a fan of the show, you'll know that I think they might be on season 18 now. So it's not a replacement for every single channel you ever had on cable. On the other hand, if it is Discovery Networks you're interested in, the latest episodes of shows like Hometown and other specials show right up. But you see that there is a lot to it, and you can also use a playlist. We're going to show you more about my list later, but you can go through and across all of these genres, choose shows that you like so that you can keep up with them as you go. That solves a lot of problems of when you sit down at the TV and you say, well, what do I want to watch? Nothing better than a playlist to remind you of what you like. But as we go through this, you see that there are just lots and lots of options. OWN, of course, is an Oprah Winfrey branded network, and that network itself has a vast array of everything from home shows and relationship shows to even original movies. During the Christmas time, OWN had a whole bevy of, your classic rom-com type Christmas movies. Let's jump into the History Channel and see what sorts of things they've got to offer. So there's Ancient Aliens right at the top. Not every single show that is available through the History Channel, nor, like I said, every single episode of every single show that you see is available. But there is a lot to kill time with and enjoy. The thing about reality shows, of course, is that it's not like you're going to get part of the way into a season and then not finish a storyline. These are just show by show. It's essentially a brand new thing to explore. But there is a lot out there. It has the separate sections, separate rows, depending on the kinds of themes they're pushing at the time. It's not always going to be the same theme, but as you go through, you can find out what they have to offer. You can expect to see this season rotate a bit. There are these shows on any network not owned by Discovery. They'll pick up the rights to something, they'll drop the rights to something. In general, though, this, I think, is going to be a major, major service. It's already got somewhere around 17 million subscribers. Now, this is something that I really like. The little browse section, what you see is found by looking for those little, the square. These make it easier to explore networks that they offer in depth. For instance, here in HGTV, you can look for everything A to Z, but they understand that HGTV is about more than one kind of show. So because there's flipping shows and renovation shows and buying shows, they go through and break things down by the subgenre so that you can find the things that you want, and if necessary, you find a favorite, you add it to your list. But most of the channels on here are like that, and that's really cool because, we all know, if you follow true crime shows, there's lots of types of true crime shows. There's lots of types of shows about families. You got your conflict shows, and you got your supportive shows, and you've got more documentary based shows. And that menu at the top helps you zero in much better on the kinds of things that you want. Whether you're working on a backyard project or just want to watch people yell at each other about something. Under the Food Network, you've got it all broken down with baking shows and craft shows and learning how to just do things. You can watch the experts like the Pioneer Woman do her magic. It also includes the new Magnolia Network. And while this is a little off the subject, I do want to address the fact that you are seeing some buffering and some slow load times. That's not really indicative of the service itself. It just so happens that my Wi-Fi is not working as hard as it usually does and causing a little bit of lag. So as we've been exploring this, we have been adding to my list. So let's show you what my list ends up looking like. My list is available right there on the main menu, and you see we got the 4 things that we added so far. If you decide that you don't want something, you see it down in the corner, it tells you how to remove it. In this case, we're using the shield, so we're going to press the main button and remove. You can also, if that is not a feature that you've got available, you can jump into a show, go to over where it says My List, and just tap it, and it will take it off the list. That's helpful to know so that if you fall out of love with a show or watch everything that's available, you maybe don't want it sitting on your list all the time taking up space. A good thing to know is that even though there is a pretty good cross-sectional way to find the information, you can also just search specific for a show that you want to watch. Like, let's say you couldn't find Ancient Aliens on its own. You can just look for it. It's the very first thing under A, which is pretty cool. And as I was saying before, right now you have seasons 1 through 8. Will it be more next week? Will it be more if you check it? It might. Could it be season 1 and then season 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9? Yes. That's just the way things work when it's not something that Discovery owns. But the great thing is, if somebody says, have you seen that show? I don't remember what channel it comes on, but it's one of those TLC or something. You can jump in, you can look for it via the search, and then find where it is, put it on your list, make it one of your shows to watch, and you're good to go. In general, I really think that Discovery Plus is a great option for people out there who are looking to save some serious money on cable, and maybe they don't need much else. If you're not looking for a bunch of sports and news and things like that, but love to have background TV, lifestyle TV, Discovery Plus is a really cool option. It has both a ad-supported version and a premium version that's just a little more expensive. I believe it's $7.99 at the time of recording this. Can't guarantee that the prices will stay the same, but even if you have the ad-supported version, there's not that many ads. They last about a minute, sometimes 45 seconds, and you're right back to what it is that you're watching. So that's Discovery Plus. If you are interested in it, you can sign up for it on discoveryplus.com. You can also sign up for it through your major streaming devices, Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, Android TV. It's out there all over, even on mobile devices, of course. So check it out. I hope you found this helpful in general. If you did, please subscribe to our channel. Share this video with your friends. And as always, I'm Ryan Downey, the Streaming Advisor. Stream on, my friends.